Hi, this is Minal.
And this is Kashmir. We're SavaniSis, talking about how to activate Sukha, your inner joy. So today we're going to talk about when something bad happens in your life that you weren't expecting. Like you lose a job, you lose your partner, or your house burns down. Pop the champagne! Celebrate!
Yay!
What do we mean by that?
Stay tuned.
So why would we say pop the champagne, celebrate, get excited when something bad happens in your life? It doesn't make sense, does it? Why would you want to do that? And actually, how can you do that when you're feeling so upset?
Exactly. Well, it's not really a bad thing. Let's say you're feeling good all day long, okay? You're vibrating high, you're singing, laughing, dancing, smiling, doing things that you love, creative work, feeling great.
Visualizing where you want to go and what you want in life. You think because of all of these things that life is going to present you the circumstances, events, situations to bring you closer and closer to where you want to go, right?
Because that's what the law of attraction teaches you, right? You always end up attracting what you are vibrating. If you're feeling good, you're going to get great things. But what about if something bad happens? In fact, the opposite of what you were asking for or visualizing, in fact, happens. So you're thinking, how can this event have happened when I was vibrating and feeling so good? So, I have an example to demonstrate exactly what's going on here. It's called the Man in China story. Now, this is a true story.
So there was a man in China and he had a son and he lived in a village. He wanted his son to live a long, healthy life. He wanted his son to be safe and live a long, healthy life. He was on a horse, his son, and his son fell off the horse and broke his leg. And all the villagers said, "Oh, that's so bad. That's a terrible thing that could happen to your son. Your son broke his leg." The man said,
I don't know why this is a bad thing. Maybe good, maybe bad, time will tell. But he didn't feel like as if it was a bad thing. Well, the next day,
army came over to collect all the young boys to fight in the army. And it was such a bad war, it was likely that these young men would actually pass away or
perish
in the army. All the villagers' sons were taken away in the army, but not this one boy because he broke his leg. He couldn't fight in the army in the war.
So the story goes on to say one event after the other that appears seemingly bad, but in fact works towards his advantage, and he ends up having that long, happy, healthy, safe life that the father intended for the son.
And you may all be able to relate to something like that in your life, where something bad happens or seemingly bad at the time, and then later on in life you look back and you think, I'm so glad that bad thing happened because I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing right now.
You could call it a blessing in disguise because that's exactly what it is.
And I can share a story that happened to me. A while back, I was practicing gratitude a lot. I was so grateful for everything that my levels of gratitude were elevated to a level that you can't even describe, to the point that I physically felt different in my body. And what also happened was that I would feel grateful for anything, for just somebody opening the door for me. I would feel grateful for somebody just handing me a pen for me to use. Just even the smallest of things, I felt an incredible wave of gratitude throughout my body. So much so that I actually had to play it down because it was embarrassing. You know, how can I have tears of gratitude for someone opening the door for me? This carried on for about a month. The levels were so high that magical things were happening to me. I was having more and more events and experiences in my life that were giving me grateful experiences. All of a sudden, what happened was I had a flat tire. I was driving home quite late at night. It was coming up to midnight and I had a flat tire on a busy road, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got a flat tire. I hope I can get to a petrol station where I could maybe just have a look at the tire and maybe fill it up a little bit so that I can drive the rest of the way home. But then I realized it was 12 midnight. Do I know how to do this? You know, I couldn't remember how to fill the air in the flat tire. So I was thinking, gosh, I'm going to be all alone and I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I had this momentum of gratitude, I was still feeling It was funny. It was a mixture of feeling a little bit apprehension, but also a little bit of excitement and a little feeling of gratitude as well inside. And then I got to the petrol station, and then there was a man standing there. And honestly, this man looked like an angel from heaven, as if he was just waiting for me. He came up to me and he said, "Do you need help?" And I said, "Yes, I've got a flat tire. I don't know what to do." And he said, "Oh, just fill in the air and I can do it for you." And then I didn't have any loose change of cash to actually put into the machine to fill the air. And he provided me with the loose change. And he did the whole thing for me so that I could get safely home. Now that whole incident seemed bad, but actually what happened was I felt tremendous gratitude for this man. Flat tire gave me another experience to feel
More
incredible
gratitude.
waves of gratitude throughout my body, and I felt so good. I had tears of joy and gratitude on the way home. So it wasn't such a bad thing. It was actually a good thing because it led me to feel even more gratitude.
Exactly, so she experienced elevated levels of gratitude. If you were already vibrating gratitude, you end up getting way more back. So the circumstances, situation, people and events that come into your life, even if it appears seemingly bad, is always going to lead you to receiving more of that good feeling.
You've been vibrating good, you've been doing all the work, you've been visualizing, things are going so well, something bad happens. Why do you not want to feel bad about it?
Because as soon as you feel bad about it, you've now engaged the law of attraction in the opposite way, which is the way most people on planet Earth are operating from. So now you've reacted to the bad situation, you've made it feel bad, now you're feeling bad at the bad situation because you're looking at it as if it's bad. So remember, your perception is your reality. Now you're just going to create more badness out of it. In fact, what you've done is ruined the blessing in disguise. It could have been a potentially very good thing if you were to respond to it and say, this can't be bad, this is a great thing. I know this is going to lead me to something far better and far greater, right? Instead of responding to that situation that way, you ended up looking at the event as bad, and now you made yourself feel bad. You're just going to create more bad situations, circumstances, events and people in your life. So now it's a negative spiral downwards.
And think about it, you were doing so well up to that point. So you had the vision of where you wanted to go, you knew what you wanted, you were feeling good, you were vibrating high. Bad thing happens and it stops you from continuing that vibration of feeling good and visualizing what you want and getting closer to where you want to be. This is why it's so important to continue to maintain that vibration as much as possible. Remember, every event is just an event. That's all it is. Just an event. It becomes an experience within us when we label it good or bad or frustrating or annoying, whatever the label is. And that label all depends on our perception, how we perceive the event to be. And our perception is based on past programming and past events. An example could be that there is one event that two people experience, but they'll experience it in a completely different way. One person may think of it as horrific, terrible, bad, my life is over. And the other person will say, yes, it's bad, but what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I become stronger? And there are many examples of this in the world where people either crumble or fall apart with an event, or other people rise up.
They overcome it. They realize, what is this event teaching me?
I know that you're going to say when you're watching this video, oh, but I've just had disaster in my life. How can I just pop the champagne and celebrate? Of course, we're not expecting you to just be incredibly happy as soon as something bad happens. I mean, we don't react like that.
It's a skill. It's a training that you have to go through. You have to train yourself to now respond to a seemingly bad event as, wow, this is incredible. This is a blessing in disguise. Something great's going to come out of this.
And if you know that you're practicing the feeling good, vibrating high, visualizing what you want, activating that Sukha, feeling that joy from within, then you know that it doesn't serve you to continue to feel bad about something that's happened. And so remember that you can feel bad for a short period of time, but you want to reduce that refractory period of that feeling. If something bad happens, like you lose your job, of course you're going to feel bad for a bit, but you're going to decide, do I feel bad for a day, or do I feel bad for a week, or do I feel bad for an entire month and blame everyone else for what's happened? So you have a choice. You can say, yes, I do feel bad about this. It was a bit of a shock. I didn't expect this to happen. However, what can I focus on now? Where do I want to go? How do I want to turn this around? How do I want to use this event to clarify even more what do I want? So it gives you clarity, because sometimes when something bad happens, contrast, it helps you decide even more. This is what I don't want, and this is what I do want. And the sooner you do this, the better. Often bad events give you more power and intensity to focus on what you do want. It's that kind of feeling of I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
You can clearly define what you do want. The clarity becomes ridiculous.
Pop the champagne means that look at this as a wonderful opportunity to get closer to what you want. You cannot figure out what the universe is doing, all the plans and all the things that the universe is doing to get you to where you want. You may have had to lose your job in order to get something way better. If you didn't lose your job, you'd be stuck in your job for another 10 years. You may have to have lost that partner in order for you to grow and provide more energy release so that you can get someone better that's going to be more of an energetic match for you. Your house burnt down because you were meant to get a better house. You want to maintain a higher vibration as much as possible when these things happen in your life. Like Kashmir earlier said, it is a skill, so you practice it as much as possible.
Yeah.
So when something bad happens, pop the champagne. We'll see you in some more videos.
I hope that was a cute little inspiration for you. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and we shall see you on the next video. Bye for now.